This is Nonverbal Communication by Sasha Bavicic. I'm going to be talking about pictures and what I see as far as nonverbal communication is concerned in each photo. I'm going to start off with this one. This one I named Proud to be Working. In this photo, I see a man who is diligently working with a smile on his face. It seems as if he's concentrating on what it is that he's doing, and he's holding himself with a sense of pride, almost like he's engaged and excited to be doing it. He has a slight smirk that to me shows the joy and excitement that he feels to be making the product that he's making. Maybe he's making it for a child, or maybe he's making a gift for a birthday or his wife, but there's some sort of pride that's going into whatever it is he's constructing. His hat, his long sleeve shirt, and his shoes give me the impression that he's wearing full coverage to protect his skin from the dust and debris or chemicals or whatever he may be working with. Because it seems to me that he's underneath coverage inside a barn or something somewhere, so he's protecting himself from anything that may be flying around. The next one I called Elated to be Alive. In this photo, it depicts a man that has just received some amazing news in my perspective. I see other field workers behind him that are still diligently working because this man is clearly still standing in front of an axe or some sort of working equipment. I see this field worker possibly maybe in prison, and he's just been notified of his release date. His clothing and his pickaxe give me an indication that he is doing manual labor in a field somewhere, maybe between the 1920s and the 1930s. That was a big thing for prison workers in that time. It looks as if he feels elated and joyful to know the thought of the news that he may have just received. Like he's taken his hat off, he's smiling with a grin that's from ear to ear. His arms and hands are being thrown up like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. So he's completely just in awe of the news that he's just received. The next one I named Sadness and Loss. There's several reasons that I chose to name it this. When I look at this photo, I feel a sense of sorrow in this woman. I mean, her whole body, her eyes, her slouch, her positioning, her arms. It just depicts to me a sadness or a loss that no one would ever want to feel. Her eyes to me say the most. It's almost as if she wants to scream, cry, or yell to relieve the pain that she's feeling. But she's almost like she's forced to sit in silence instead. Like she has to hold in all of those feelings. So she's putting on a face, that says otherwise, but deep down inside she's really feeling something else. To me, this woman is coming from a time, due to the picture, the photo, the clothing, where women were expected to be, not heard or not seen, just to do their work quietly and diligently in the background. Their feelings and concerns didn't matter as much in those times. They didn't have the rights that we do nowadays. It's almost as if her arms are crossed in her lap, and her slouched posture and her forced grin is just kind of like she's giving up, like she does not want to go on. Many women in the late 1800s and early 1900s suffered the loss of a child during birth due to the lack of medical knowledge, equipment, and technology. The type of pain she depicts in this photo, in my perspective, says maybe she recently had gone through something like that. Maybe she recently lost a child, or somebody that she loved very much. So that is what I see in this photo. And finally, this gentleman, I named it Focused and Mysterious. When I look at this photo, I didn't really even know where to start. His posture and his clothing tell me that he is a man of high status. He has very nice pressed clothing. He's obviously got the pocket watch hanging. He's got the badge, the bow tie. He's put together really well. So it tells me he's of high status, and the badge tells me that he may even be the sheriff of a particular town. His face is stiff and his eyes are fixed as if he has anger or aggression towards someone or something. I almost feel like I have feelings that contradict each other here, and this is why I feel that way. I look at him and I want to trust him because he's got this badge, he's postured correctly, he's put together properly. Everything in this picture would say that he's a man of high status and quality, yet his eyes are just eerie. The eyes don't make contact with the camera, and even so, you can look at them and you can see that there's some sort of mystery behind them, almost like he's got this vengeance that he's holding, or this mysterious, murderous look about him. So on one hand, you want to trust him, but on the other hand, they say eyes are the windows to the soul, so you can really tell and know a lot about a person just by their eyes and their nonverbal communication that way. So it also looks like he's so set on and focused on the fact that his feelings of whatever, maybe vengeance or control that he's feeling, like he would go to any lengths to do it. Like, he doesn't matter who would get in his way or what would get in his way. Like, he's determined. Even his mustache, everything is just so neat and perfect about him that it just makes me not trust him. Makes me not trust him. Everything about his body language just makes me feel very distrustworthy about him. So that is the end of my actual presentation. I had 4 photos, and I had to talk about all the different types of nonverbal communication I had received from those photos. I hope you liked it, and I'm Sasha Bavicic, and I am out.